Welcome back to In the Park, presented by Wake Up, your Sunday night source for elite baseball knowledge and baseball news. You know the regular crew. Join today, our newest member. He's going to be here. He's going to not be here. He's going to do his best. We got Alex Big Nasty. Give us a little rundown, Alex. You, your team, how you got into baseball.
Well, my name is Alex. I'm a San Diego Padres fan. I got into baseball because my grandfather played professionally in Mexico. He was actually a catcher for, believe it or not, a legendary pitcher named Fernando. So at a very young
Well,
age, I started playing baseball. I fell in love with it ever since.
can I ask you a question, Alex? Does that mean you love the Dodgers too?
No.
So just like last week, we're going to quickly jump into it here. We're going to go through the standings, specifically the wild card standings. And we got a whole bunch of NL guys up here chomping at the bit. So we're going to start in the AL with our good friend Comic up there in the top left. Comic, what do you see here? I'm looking at the wild card. Yankees, Red Sox, Astros. The Guardians have made this amazing jump. We'll talk about them in a second. What do you feel for the Red Sox? Are they staying in here? They've kind of fallen off.
I'm very iffy on them right now. And when I saw them play this week, when I saw them on TV play against the A's, they struggled against the A's. They have sweat so far this weekend playing the Rays. They've taken the first two, and then they have a game tonight at 7:35. I'm very worried. When Rodell Anthony went out with that injury, the team has gone downhill quick. So I'm a little iffy of them going into the playoffs. So my playoff prediction has changed on the American League side. I'm kind of going to take the Mariners now. The Mariners, and then the National League still going to stay with the Phillies.
Okay, so for everyone else, there's been it's essentially the same teams that we saw last week. Switch the Mariners and the Astros, and we'll start Nick, then Matt, then Alex. Where do you see these divisions, specifically the West, there falling, and then also touch in on the Central with the Guardians having this amazing run here in the last month of the season?
Whoever can get that division's getting the playoffs. They're not going to be a wild card from that division as well. So if Cleveland can take it, Detroit will sneak in. I don't think Houston's getting in. Mariners are going to take their division. Red Sox will probably get the third wild card.
What do you think, Matt?
I'm going to say it like this. If the Tigers keep playing the way they're playing, they're losing that division lead to I'm going to shout out one of our other guys here, Dolly. They're going to lose that division lead to his guard. Point blank simple. Now, do I still see them making playoffs? Probably as more of a wild card team, maybe that second wild card. Outside of that, Houston's probably out. There's a lot with the AL going on that's just, it's almost like it's hard to tell.
And if I can bring up one other quick little point, I can't remember what year it was ago. It was like either 7 or 8 years ago when the Red Sox were in a battle for the wild card, and they were in the battle card with the Rays, and they ended up losing the last game to the Orioles. I can't remember what year it was.
Wasn't that no, 18 is when they won the World Series. Wasn't that 17?
It was either 17 or 16.
No, it was probably 18. I don't know if the Rays made the playoffs in 18. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure them and the Mariners both had like 90, 91 wins and missed out, so that might be the one.
Right.
But the Red Sox probably won the division. I don't know. I don't remember.
What are you thinking for this AL wild card?
I mean,
For me,
yeah, for Alex.
What I do believe Houston does fall because with all the turmoil that's happening inside the locker room with Framber Valdez and with Jordan Alvarez going down and and they're saying there's no particular timeline return for him, I don't see Houston making the playoffs. So I do say I still stick with my take that I said earlier for the season started. Detroit's winning it, but not by a lot, and Cleveland would get that wild card spot.
Okay. Okay.
I like that. So just looking here at the standings on MLB.com. It's amazing. We're supposed to have Dally on here tonight. Something came up, he couldn't make it. He will be the first person to tell you, as a Guardians fan, what did he say? 15 and a half games at the end of July, they were out. Everyone kind of took a back seat on them, said, oh, the 15 and a half games, that's a big ask through 2 months. They've climbed back. They're a half game out now. They're 9-1 in their last 10. The Tigers are 1-9. I'm not going to say that the Tigers are going to fall out, but if they continue what they've been doing, they're flirting with it, honestly. And that might be the biggest letdown ever in baseball, just about. To be so far ahead in the first half of the season and then fall out of the playoff contention in the second half.
Not even the big letdown. That is the biggest choke job the Tigers have ever had. If that's the case.
But I'm right there with you guys. I think it was Alex that talked about the Astros and their injury problems. Is they've had them the whole year. They've kind of fought through them. It's finally caught up to them where they don't have the firepower right now to push. This is the last week of the season. You have to push forward, and they lost their best hitter. Their pitching isn't up to snuff as it has been throughout the rest of the season. Is it Hunter Brown? Hunter Brown started the season looking like he's on pace for a Cy Young. And then he comes in here the second half of the season, and he is, I'm not going to say he's bad, but he's not what he was in the first half. It's been a rough go for them. It honestly might be between the Tigers and the Astros for me to who gets that last spot. And I want to say ultimately it'll probably be the Tigers, just simply because they have their players in the lineup still, regardless of they're winning or not. But let's switch gears over to the NL. And for those of you that don't remember, we've got a Mets fan here. We've got a Diamondbacks fan here. And as you heard, we got a Padres fan here. So we'll get Comic out of the way early, and then we'll get to you guys to talk about each of your teams. So Comic, right now, the only, someone remind me, the only division in the NL is the NL West, the only one that's not solidified yet. So, Comic, with that being said, where do you see these standings falling? Who's winning the West? Who's making the wild card? And essentially, the Cubs have already solidified themselves in one spot there.
There's the part of me that wants to say one way, and then there's the part of me, there's the fan of me, and then there's the people that are on the panel that are fans of certain teams. So I would like to see the Padres finally do it. I really would. I would like to see them. I'm going to go with the Padres winning. Someone dropped out.
Alex.
Oh, good job. I'll get him back up.
Oh, anyway, I would like to finally see the Padres. You're back. Okay. Padres is my answer. Because I hate the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Me too.
So we'll start with you, Matt. Right now, you're on the outside looking in. You got the Mets, the Reds, the Padres all ahead of you. What do you see? Like, what's your key this last week? You know, obviously winning games, but what's your key this last week, and how do you see it falling at the end of the week for the wild card spot here?
Well, with the Cubs not giving a crap since they're already, obviously the Reds are going to win games there. I don't know if the Reds won today or not, but
They won 1-0.
So that doesn't help us out at all. We're currently smoking the Phillies 8-2 last I checked.
9-2.
we are doing what we do in winning games, but we need those three teams. And I'm sorry, Alex, we need the Padres to lose as well. We need them to pretty much lose out, which I don't see happening. I think the D-backs are going to be eliminated.
Okay. Next team up, we'll go to Nick here for the Mets.
They
Huge
suck. They suck. They suck. They fucking suck, man.
Huge slide the past couple of weeks. Is there hope for them to right the ship this week, or what do you see? What do you see?
Yeah, they're still gonna get the third wild card. I mean, if they, I almost feel like they shouldn't, and I'll be fine. But I don't know. I still don't think the Reds are gonna make it. I don't know who they have in their last six. Somebody in their division and somebody else. But the Mets have to play the Cubs and then the Marlins. So I don't know if they can win 4. It's really all they need to get in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Reds play the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, that's
Damn.
be sweet for the Reds.
I don't know.
Probably.
The Brewers, Pirates and Brewers.
I would
Yeah.
still hope.
They'll sweep the
Still
Pirates.
hope for them.
Like they'll sweep the Pirates, but then lose to the Brewers. I feel.
I just feel like the Brewers aren't going to be putting out their best squad.
It's gonna be Brewers, Phillies, NLCS. Come on.
All right, Alex, you're the team in the lead out of these three teams here. What do you see in the forecast for the Padres? Are you guys you obviously probably making the playoffs? Are you winning the division? Are you just squeaking by in the wild card? What do you got?
We're going to be a wild card team. I don't think we're going to catch the division because we got Milwaukee, then Arizona. Which Milwaukee, it will be an even series, but we're putting a hungry Arizona team, which they're going to give us their best. But what I see from the Padres team, their starters don't go deep at all. Only guys do. And which, if you keep doing that, you're going to damage the bullpen. And good news, Virginia Xander Bogaerts back tomorrow, which will help our offense. But what I see from Vasquez, from Dylan Cease, Mike Coutinho's coming back, but unfortunately not too. Cease and Vasquez and Cortez, they don't know in games, which will hurt us. But we can beat the Cubs. I don't see us beating Milwaukee in the next round. And for the final wild card spot, Nick, you're gonna hate me for this, but I think the Reds will get it.
I'll kill you.
Because
So,
I
I
think-
might
Nah, that's not good.
I think it's definitely going to come down to that. I mean, it could even come down to the last game. And it's amazing. If you remember,
yeah.
a couple weeks ago, we were talking about, how's this NL East gonna pan out? You know, they're within a game and a half, and
Alex, who was okay?
I think it was Comet. They're all good. You know, the Phillies and the Mets are within a game and a half. Huge, back off from the Mets. I don't want to say anything bad. I don't think they necessarily played bad. They weren't winning games. And now they're coming up to the same type of thing here with the Reds coming down to the last week. I think this ultimately is going to come down to the last game. I mean, they're completely tied right now. Do they play tonight? Are they playing right now? They already played.
Who?
The Mets.
They lost.
Okay.
They're
So
tied with the
they lost
Reds.
today.
Reds have the season series tiebreaker and the interdivision tiebreaker. I don't know what that matters, but it does.
So you essentially just need to win this outright, get this third spot outright.
Yeah.
That's what they essentially need to do. Yes.
Yeah. I know that the old homage is like, whoever's playing their best baseball at the end of the season can make the biggest run.
Shut up, Boomer.
But that's what I'm saying is I don't necessarily think that if the Mets were to make it in that third wild card spot, they've got the firepower to make a run. I mean, they really just need 1 or 2 games where they can take off offensively and they can make a run through these playoffs. So
Pitching is awful. Relying on rookies.
yeah, that's true. Who was the one that came up? He pitched like 12 or 13 strikeouts in 5 innings or something.
Nolan McLean. He won like his first like 4 games. He's been dominant.
Yeah.
He's actually a two-way player, but I don't think they're gonna let him hit.
Speaking of that, not to go too far off topic, but you guys remember? I think it was the Paul Skeens interview right when he was in college, and he let him. He asked his coach if he could hit. No, was it Skeens? Some LSU player.
Another player. It wasn't Skeens.
Yeah, it was the other guy. But they were basically like, "Can you hit?" And he's like, "Yeah, let me hit. Come on." It's like never hit before, and then
Yeah.
college game.
Absolute miss.
And he went yard.
Yeah, he went yard.
Damn.
Another one. Have you seen? I think it's like the single A affiliate of some team. They brought
No.
a fan in from the stands. Have you guys seen that
Ooh.
video?
No.
Yeah, I seen it.
They bring a fan in from the stands. He looks. I mean, he gets at the bat. He looks like a baseball player, and he just boom whaps one. So they kept him in the game. He went out and played in the field. Then the next day,
Nice.
it was
He had
awesome.
he robbed like a home run or something, right?
Yeah, he like robbed a home run. He threw I don't know if he threw somebody out at one of the bases. He just had an amazing full inning, 2 half innings. When they it's like a raffle thing where you get to come on the field and play or hit for one at bat. But they were like, oh, this guy's pretty good. We'll just keep him on here. He probably got signed the next day.
If he did, that's fine. If he did.
I hope the Padres signed him.
Hey, you have enough. Okay?
Hold on,
I'm
Alex.
tired of the Padres. Their farm
Hold on.
great.
If the Padres signed him, they just get rid. They would just trade him away.
Yeah, we'll trade him away, and he'll become a Hall of Famer in 3 years.
Yeah, that's the Padres' way, unfortunately.
Okay. So we're going to go back to the American League, and this is something that we brought up last week that we didn't end up getting to. And we're kind of going to go through the bottom level teams, the teams that are at the bottom of their divisions, maybe the 5th and the 4th place teams, depending on the division and how they did. And we're just going to say, just a little blurb each on what they can do to get better. And we'll just have that discussion amongst all of us as we go. So we'll start in the AL, and then we'll get around to the NL. And we'll start with the Orioles.
Pitching.
Yeah.
Sign free agents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't let free agents leave.
Yeah.
Walk.
Better management.
Well, they
I miss Brandon Hyde.
Alex, they haven't had a good manager since.
I miss their old left field.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me try to. I meant better front office management.
No,
Yeah,
they haven't had a good. No, they haven't had a good manager since Earl Weaver, and that was way before your time.
Ooh.
Earl Weaver baseball. He had a
Yep.
video game.
Yep.
I like Cal Ripken. I saw his last game. I didn't know who he was. Just random.
I've seen about 10 of his games.
I saw him do his little hat thing, and I was like, "Oh, who's that guy? He's old." And then that was it. Then I put on the Mariners game because Ichiro was batting, and he was cool.
Ichiro was overrated.
Wait, what? Huh?
Wow.
Wow.
No, I'm not the only. But I'm not the only one on our group podcast that has said that. But I don't think he is.
Ichiro has the fastest first pitch of a game at 97 miles an hour. He is a GOAT.
He's
And
no
then-
Ted Williams. But anyway,
So I completely agree with everything that you guys just said. They got to get a high
Everything?
end arm and like starting rotation arm. I mean, Grayson Rodriguez, he was injured this past year and the year before, I believe. So maybe getting him back. I still think at the end of the day they need to add someone. The hole that was left by Corbin Burns 2 seasons ago after he left, it's still glaring and it's still there. It's just something that hasn't been addressed. They've tried to. They've had injuries. Do they still have? Was it Kramer? Is it Dean Kramer?
Yeah, Dean Kramer.
he's been hurt.
Yeah, I mean the injuries have really eaten them up. I also think I'm surprised nobody mentioned this. Is that they last year showed success with such a young team. Take the injuries out of the equation for a second. I mean, you're talking Adley Rutschman,
Gunnar Henderson.
Jack Holiday. Yeah, and
And Grayson Rodriguez coming in.
Yeah, Grayson
Yeah.
Rodriguez.
They just brought up another catcher, didn't they? Don't they have the number one catching prospect?
Basayo, Samuel
Yep.
Basayo.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
drafted it in this.
Yep.
In this year's draft, they drafted him.
So to go off of that a little bit is, do we think this is the end of the Adley Rutschman era in Baltimore, or do we see like a platoon type deal?
Put him at
He's done.
DH or first base.
I feel like Adley's bat could be utilized because he does have some power. I've seen him at a couple games for Oregon State when they were at the College Baseball Classic the year they won the College World Series. He's got some pop. He does. I feel like they could put him at like DH a few games.
I think he gets traded to Kansas City.
Why?
Why Kansas
Salvador,
City?
Salvador Perez is getting old, but he still has pop, so then they can platoon him at catcher and put Salvador Perez at DH.
Well,
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Well,
And
I,
Kansas City
Kansas City
can.
doesn't like to spend. The problem is Kansas City does not like to spend money.
That is
They don't
also
have to. They
That's
can
true.
trade.
a cheap team.
They got prospects that could give Baltimore in pitching.
But again, they don't. Kansas City doesn't want to spend money. Is
you know,
said.
well, I have a destination. I think he gets traded to San Francisco
Really? You think San Francisco?
because what I've been hearing from Giants fans, they don't like Patrick Bailey, and who do you want to replace Patrick Bailey? You want them to switch hitting catcher,
Yeah,
and they have the prospects to give Baltimore.
They do
But
have the.
you know who will make it? But you know who will make that call? And that is Buster Posey. He's the one who will make that call when that happens.
Yeah,
That is-
It's not-
Yeah, I think Buster Posey might see enough of himself in Adley. I still think there's a lot there over the course of the next few years with Adley Rutschman. He's solid defensively. He's a switch hitter, which is, we're seeing more and more in the catcher position, but it's a hot commodity. What do we got? We got Cal Riley, Patrick Bailey, who we just said. Jonah Heim, I think, is a switch hitter over there in
Yep.
Texas.
Yep.
I mean, there's a couple, but as far as big name guys, Cal Riley, obviously the biggest one. I'm just looking here. So they traded O'Hearn to the Padres at the trade deadline.
He hasn't done nothing.
No, he hasn't done anything. So do you think they go out and try and find another first baseman? Alex, you're pretty well in tune with the minor league team, the minor league guys. Do they have another first baseman coming up? I mean, I got a list of the potential free agents here. I'll just read you a couple. So you got Josh Naylor, Goldschmidt, Reese Hoskins. That's a mutual option. Pete Alonso is an opt-out. Carlos Santana, Justin Turner, Josh Bell. And then you have, Lamont Wade Jr., Wilmer Flores, Donovan Solano, some of these mid guys, or as the youngins would call them, mid guys. Ty France and Connor Joe. Do you think they go and try and sign another first baseman? Do they bring up a young guy and just say, keep the youth movement going? What do you think?
what I don't know if the Padres have a first baseman prospect, was once again, AJ Brown at the deadline, he gets rid of everyone.
Yeah.
So what I do believe, we bring back Gavin Sheets, then I feel like we do sign Josh Bell to have him platoon and give Sheets and Arias off their feet.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I
That
can see it.
Looking at the actual list of the top prospects for the Orioles here is, how'd you say his name? Basalo? Yeah.
Samuel Basayo.
He is listed as a catcher first baseman. So if they do end up bringing in Salvi,
Yep.
maybe they trade or bring in somebody else, they could always move him to first. I think he's like, you're never the number one prospect for no reason. He's obviously good at what he does. So I don't think it's not something that they want to take out of him and move him to a different position. But honestly, outside of that, Dylan Beavers is their second best prospect. Enrique Bradfield Jr., Ike Irish. I mean, they're not really fully loaded here. There's a couple names that jump out, but I do think that, and you guys can tell me if you disagree, I do think the youth movement in Baltimore is going to be coming to an end shortly here.
Young guys.
I can't hear a word he's saying.
Hold on, you're breaking up.
Of course. Hold on.
Well, you give Baltimore a couple of years because this always happens to the Padres. Those prospects are going to become all stars. I guarantee you that.
The ones that came over from San Diego.
From the prospect team over San Diego. What this one I know he's going to become good. I'm going to say Cobb Hightower. He's going to be the best one out of all of them.
Oh yeah, see, I scrolled a little bit further down here. They got Vance Honeycutt and A+ ball. I mean, there's some notable names here. Wilfred De La Cruz, which is not the one that we were talking about before. Oh, sorry, I accidentally turned comic down there for a second. That we were talking about off the air. But I mean, they do have some guy. I mean, we'll see. I do think giving them a couple years. I thought this was the year that they were going to turn it around and be ultra competitive in the AL. Obviously, I was wrong, which is why I'm here talking with you guys and not on ESPN or anything like that. We can. I was looking at the Rays. I think we can skip over the Rays. The one thing I will say about them, and anyone can chime in whenever, is no matter what happens, no matter who they trade, what injuries they have, they always somehow figure out a way to go just about 500. I don't know how they do it. They just always do. I mean, there was a year they lost their top 3 pitchers in the MLB. They just brought up random guys. They threw relievers to start games. Kevin Kiermaier's batting .215, and they're still winning games somehow. So the Rays, I feel like, are still competitive enough that we don't need to necessarily talk about them. The one thing that I think they could do is get actual bats. You know, they don't seem to really care about having bats. Although, and we talked about this, I feel like a couple weeks ago, is Junior, say the last name for me, Alex.
Caminero.
Yeah.
Caminero, yeah.
He is a superstar in the making. I was listening to the radio, like a sports radio a couple weeks ago, and the one guy said, if there was one person in the MLB right now that had a chance to break Barry Bonds' record, it would be this kid.
Yeah, Junior's got some power.
You know what? He reminds me of a young Manny Machado when Manny first got called up. That's Manny.
Yeah, Manny was ridiculous.
And he idolized Manny as a kid, and I see it.
Yeah, I could definitely see the comparison between the two and how they play. Now we'll get to. I think this is probably the most interesting because for most of us, we're used to seeing the Twins being like decently competitive, and they are at the 4th place in the Central there in the AL. So what is something, you know, they obviously traded a lot of their team. They sold out this past trade deadline. What's something they can do in the offseason to improve, at least improve, maybe not be competitive, but at least improve, whether it be, you know, what we talked about, whether it be free agency or something else. Sorry.
I can go. What really needs to happen? It's ownership. You can't just have that great of a year that they had in 23 and not do anything. Like I'm not saying go be like the Padres, Mets, Dodgers, Giants, spend big money, but no, at least spend money go get like a player, like spend $50 million, spend 72 million. At least show the fan base that you care. Because what I'm seeing from the Pollard family, they're showing that they don't care.
They don't care. They don't spend.
They don't.
That's the problem with a lot of the. As we repeat over and over and over, certain teams do not want to spend money. They just want to go out and draft, and they'll have a great draft, but that doesn't take effect until 3 or 4 years down the road. And also with the Twins, Joey Ryan, he only has a 1 year left on his deal.
That's right. Yeah.
And who knows if he gets traded in the winter because they're about to trade him to the Red Sox during the deadline.
Yep, sure were. And I was very sad that he didn't get traded, that he did not end up in Boston. But the Twins are asking for too much.
Right.
Just like with the side that when me and Alex were talking earlier in the baseball year, Durant, he wanted Durant, and I said Durant wouldn't get traded.
Lo and
Man,
anyway.
behold,
Twins need to spend some money.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. It also
Am I
doesn't.
talking, or is anyone there?
No, we didn't hear you.
Everyone good? We
Yeah.
can hear you, Tommy.
Hello.
We got you.
We got you.
But
Oh,
I think one of their biggest issues, and it's been their biggest issue for quite some time, is when you have a superstar like Byron Buxton, and at the end of the day, he is a superstar, although he hasn't put up necessarily those numbers every single season, is his health and just staying consistent. I mean, he had what, 2 in 23? He was fairly healthy. He had a pretty good
yep,
year. I think he was an all-star. The first half of this year, he was off to a hot start, was one of the
yep.
best outfielders in baseball. And it's like every other year besides that, or every half a year, he just falls off. So I think they need to maybe get a little bit more depth. Maybe he doesn't have to play every single game. Gives him the chance to rest and try to stay healthy. Just that I'm looking here on some posts. Some Twins fan made a post. The first thing they said: remaining healthy after the injuries derailed them this offseason. And that's just essentially what it is. Their team is fairly fine, I'd say, from top to bottom. Get a little bit more depth and try and stay healthy, and they'll be a little bit more competitive next year at least. And then in the same division, we've got the White Sox. And I really want to I really want to hear from Nick on this one because he loves the loser teams. I don't know why. He just loves talking about the bad teams.
They
So
suck, man. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
They're not gonna sign anybody. At least Roberts last year. They can try to trade him again. Yeah, they're not gonna sign anybody big free agents. The only thing they might get a crafty veteran. That's all they can do is just build for the future continuously.
Yeah, they're stuck in that endless cycle, like you're saying, just building for the future when it doesn't even seem to be working for them. They need to sign like a veteran bat or something that can get them going. But it's the White Sox. I don't really see that happening.
No, they won't.
yeah, this is
Sox. Oh, my bad.
no. Go ahead.
For the White Sox, this is their first year under former Padre. What they need to do, if I'm the White Sox fans, I know you're gonna hate when I say this, but it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time because for Caltillo, for Guerrero, for the get going, like it's gonna take time, and we just hope that Reinsdorf does not get in the middle of this. Because if he
will.
does, if he tries to get in there again, it's gonna go haywire.
Well, if you think about it, look at the last three all-star starting pitchers they had. One guy goes to the Padres. What does he do? He's having a great year. Chris Sale, he got traded away, had a great career until he had his Tommy John, and then he had a great couple years with the Braves. Garrett Crochet, look what he's doing this year. He got traded away.
I
Go,
my bad, go ahead.
no, go ahead, Alex.
No, I was going to say, White Sox fans, can we give you Dylan Cease back?
Well, according to the list that I have, is he's an upcoming free agent this year.
He is.
And I'm not going to say that they're going to go out and make a bunch of signings because it just, again, with them, it doesn't seem like they want to spend a lot of money in free agency. And like Alex just said, they have the talent coming up, but they're not. It's not like the Orioles talent where it's already in the MLB. They're either just coming up or they're a couple years out to get into their prime to get going. But I do see a couple names here. Charlie Morton seems like the perfect White Sox candidate to come in and be on the pitching staff.
What?
Even Tyler Anderson, Chris Paddock, some of these lower level guys that aren't making a whole bunch a year. Patrick Corbin. Who knows if we get him back to
in N64? Did you say Charlie Morton?
Yeah.
Who has been a bust for the Tigers this year?
He just got DFA'd this morning.
I say, yeah, Charlie got
Yeah.
right.
But that's what I'm saying is he's not necessarily doing well or having a good season. He has been good in the past.
with the
He
Braves and the Astros.
he can
in
get
Tampa.
probably to the White Sox for a low amount of money. He gives them veteran leadership on that very young rotation that they have right now. Who honestly, the pitchers I don't think performed that bad this year. They had one or two guys, but they weren't the worst pitching staff I don't think in the MLB. So you get a little bit of a veteran leadership. I mean, just looking Kenta Maeda, Charlie Morton, Herman Marquez from the Rockies is going to be a free agent this year. I mean, there's quite a few options here to get somebody to kind of at least help them out, get these young guys going, at least in the rotation. But with the rest of these free agents,
To add something real
Yep.
quick. Add something real quick. For Will Venable. Will Venable, he does something where I don't see from a lot of managers. He teaches the fundamentals first.
Yep.
Which when you see from the White Sox, they are fundamentally sound. Like they looked well coached. They just need the talent to come up, let them develop. And I promise you, the White Sox, I'll give it 5 years. I'm not saying they'll be a World Series contender. I'm like they're gonna compete for a playoff spot.
Here in 5 years, I don't disagree with that at all. Honestly.
see that. And then I don't know if everyone saw the comment I brought up, and then Boss Man's got this comment. Mariners are up 7-0.
Yeah,
Yeesh.
Cal Raleigh just hit his 58th home run.
Yep, Cal Riley hit his 58th. So again, we'll give a shout out. I feel like we're doing this every week, giving a shout out to Cal Riley hitting a new milestone. He just passed Ken Griffey Jr. for the most home runs in a Mariners jersey in a season.
Yep.
But let's move on to that division. And I mean, I wouldn't say there's necessarily bad teams. I do want to kind of get into the Athletics a little bit. If you're the Athletics, you were decently competitive the end of last year. You were okay the beginning of this year. Not great, but okay. You have your core players. Why did we trade Mason Miller? Can anybody answer me that question?
Thanks, by the way.
Again,
They got decent prospects for it, but it was pretty stupid.
I mean, you lose a bullpen piece there, and honestly, you lose a guy who could close out games, and he has done so for the Padres. And
I'm pretty sure the Padres did it because they're going to convert him into a starter. That's the only reason they would trade that many prospects for a reliever.
That's what he wants to be. He wants to be a starter.
He wants to be a starter, but here's what I see. One, you're getting a generational prospect, which I said when we signed this kid, Leo DeVries, I said, okay, he's going to be a Francisco Lindor once he gets up there. Yeah, I understand if you're A's fans, you're mad that you got rid of Mason Miller, but the package you got from San Diego, promise me, I'm gonna suffer when they become Hall of Famers. But for Mason Miller, I feel like he's gonna remain as the closer because Robert Suarez, this is the last year of his contract. He's out the door.
Yeah, he's regressing quick. I mean, he's older, but every year you can see at the second half he's regressing.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing it. Well, for the A's, give it a couple of years. They'll be fine.
They'll
Yeah,
be fine when they move into a new stadium in Oakland.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, Las Vegas.
I think
Yes, I'm sorry, Las Vegas. And they have a loaded minor league system.
Yep,
That's
you're
why I
welcome,
love it.
A's.
Yes, well, thank you, Padres. They've got Jack Wilson. His father was a Major League Baseball player, all-star player. First baseman. They have a great general manager in Billy Bean.
Yep.
Is he still there? Billy Bean?
Yeah, he's still there.
I thought he stepped
Fantastic
down.
movie, by the way.
That movie was mid.
It's a better baseball movie than Field of Dreams, which is the most overrated baseball movie of all time.
Okay.
It's not a baseball movie. It just has baseball in it.
Bull Durham was the best baseball movie.
I would
No,
say Major League.
I was gonna say you spelled Major League wrong. Major League's the GOAT, and then probably like Sandlot.
Sandlot is good.
I mean, I really like the Rookie, but
Oh
whatever.
yeah. underrated movie, Angels in the Outfield.
Great movie.
Yeah,
Right.
Disney Plus, put it on there. Come on, been itching to watch it.
So, do you guys think with this move, and in my head, I think it's a yes, but do you guys think with this move to Las Vegas, it's more likely they're going to be a bigger market team? They might have a little
Mhm.
bit more money to spend and throw out there. I mean, again, looking through this list of potential free agents after this season, Dylan Cease, Zach Gallen, and I know Alex is not necessarily impressed with Dylan Cease this season. I know that Matt is not necessarily impressed with Zach Gallen this season. But a revamp for them in their career, going to I almost said Oakland, going to Las Vegas to the revamped, and they're pretty young. I want to say Rooker is in his 20s still. Lawrence Butler's still young. They got the two best rookies, or two of the three best rookies in the AL. This might be
Tyler
a great
Soderstrom,
and so
Langoliers.
this might be a great landing spot for some big free agents. And I maybe not this offseason, but in the offseason after next. And I think they will. We could see it in 1 to 2 years of them being a competitive franchise.
I got
Yep.
4.
Speaking
4
of
years.
A's, speaking of young days players, Leo DeFreeze, who got called up to Double A, he's not slowing down. He's demolishing Double A.
Wait, what are his slash lines? Hold on now.
Yep, he's going to. I think his previous. I think the game I checked out, he went. I think he got a 2-hit or 3-hit game.
Well, good for him. Holy.
It's William? No. Spell it for me real quick.
DeFreeze,
DeVries.
What's the first name?
Leo.
Leodalis.
So Leo. Then it's DE for De.
And then
Yep.
Bries.
Oh, I got it right here. There we go.
Yep.
I don't know why it wasn't coming up. Let me see if I could get his quick stats here.
It showed he just got caught up to Double A.
But you have to also, he
Yeah,
got called up to, he was playing in Double A or got called up to the majors?
No,
Double
I
A.
called up to Double A to play. So unfortunately, I can't break down. Let me see if I can get every single team. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Double A. He's played 21 games at Double A. He's batting .281, 5 home runs, 16 RBIs. He's got 20 strikeouts. I think that's going to happen with any young player.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's got a 551 slugging and a 910 OPS. So he's definitely he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's hitting all the right check marks to be moved up, probably to AAA next year and eventually into the majors.
Great.
And we will keep tabs on that because with Alex joining us now, he's the Padres fan, and he will let us know how that goes. The quote unquote worst team in the West, which I think by talent are actually a little bit better than the A's this year. The Angels, they've just kind of fallen off here in the second half. What do we see for them? We're coming to the end of the Mike Trout era. So where do we see them going post Mike Trout, or at least post effective Mike Trout?
Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Okay. I would say with Mike Trout era coming to an end, probably they try to go for another power bat down the road. But realistically, I feel like they need to work on pitching. Their pitching is just god awful. I mean, oof.
Yeah, I mean,
I will say the Angels pitching is better than the Athletics.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, though, it's not as bad as the Athletics, but it's still god awful.
The A's pitching is only bad at their home ballpark for some
Yeah.
reason.
Because they play in the minor league ballpark. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, that ballpark is pretty much a minor league ballpark.
I'm gonna go a complete different route. One, the Angels these past couple of years have been acting like they are a competitive team. If I'm Artie Moreno and the Angels, you gotta accept it. You gotta rebuild. It's starting to get there.
that's exactly what my thought was. Is they've for the past 5 years, maybe even 10 years, they've been the team that quote unquote ruins their young prospects. They bring them up way too fast. They have a terrible first couple months in the MLB. They send them back down. They bring them back up. They did it. Now, this might be a bad example, but Nolan Chanel, however you say his last
Shenuel.
Yeah.
Genuine.
name, is
Okay.
he did not start off super hot. Now, I get that he's had a decent year this year. He's been playing pretty well. But they've done this with every Neto, Shenuel, even Joe Adele. They've
Yeah.
brought these guys up way too fast. Accept your fate, have a really bad season, let these guys progress in the major or the minor leagues, and then bring them all up. That's what we see with these competitive teams. They bring up 2-3 guys at a time, and they're competitive. They fall right into those lineups, into those rotations, and they do what they have to do.
Here's another problem with the A's is they go out and spend money, overpay. Anthony Rendon, that was a stupid contract.
Yeah.
He's barely even played. I had to go look it up. And see if he was still playing for the A's.
Has he played 100 games since joining the Angels?
Angels, I'm sorry. Yes.
Maybe 1 year, maybe. No, actually, no, he hasn't.
No, I mean total, like his whole tenure with the Angels.
I'm pretty sure he's played like 234 games because he has Ted Williams missed more time in the war than he's played, something like that. Some weird stuff.
Hey. That
What's
wasn't because of injury. That was due because he was serving in the military.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm saying that Ted Williams missed more time in World War II and Korean War than and Anthony Rendon's played in what, 6 years now?
Yeah.
Anthony Rendon has never played 60 games in a season for the Angels.
Yikes.
Not even the 2020 season.
Maybe for
By the way, shout out Ted Williams, San Diego legend, Hoover High School. Shout out Hoover High School.
Greatest baseball player of all time.
I do
Not even close.
I do think that the Angels they kind of fall to bring in like a comparison from another sport. They kind of fall into like the Clippers realm. They're the little brother in LA. They're not the premier destination when you come to LA. Everyone wants to go to the Dodgers. Regardless of how many people hate the Dodgers, everyone wants to go play for the Dodgers. They have the most competitive team in LA, and I think that also affects them when it comes down to free agency. And I think it is going to be tough for them, but I do think there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Their young guys are going to get better, regardless if they brought them up too early or not. I think filling the hole in the outfield of Mike Trout is going to be ultimately their biggest addressing in the next couple years. I mean, I think he's still got quite a few years left on his contract.
Mike Trout, he's got
He's signed to the 2030s, right?
Yeah.
2032, I want to say.
Let's say at least 5 more years, probably a little bit more. So he'll still be there. Obviously, he hasn't really played a full season in quite a few years with his injuries. He's not as productive as he was as young Mike Trout, and that's going to happen. But I think adding some depth, to their farm system, which is one of the weaker farm systems, is going to be key over these next couple of years. They have to draft well. They've got to maybe let go of some of these guys and build up that farm system. And then hopefully they can use that to propel themselves. I think their window is a lot further than the White Sox. It's a lot further than the Athletics. It's a lot further than the Orioles as far as the AL goes.
There's so many easy solutions for the Angels. If they traded Mike Trout, they won't.
They won't. But the main issue is Artie Moreno.
Yeah,
That's the main issue.
Yeah, he didn't trade Ohtani because he prioritized with ticket sales.
Yeah, I'm starting to think Artie Moreno's Shohei Ohtani basically said, "Here, if you come here, we have Disneyland."
Well, yeah, it was 100%. The guy wanted to play in the West, so that's what happened.
All right. I think what we'll do is we'll save the NL for next week.
Yeah, that works.
We're coming up on the hour here. We try to set ourselves a little time limit. Also, myself being a Chiefs fan, I want to get into my garb and get ready for the game coming up.
0-3. 0-3. 0-3.
Hold on. To that
I'm
point,
thinking of 0-3.
He's about to run all over that defense, baby.
Who they playing tonight?
The Giants and MetLife.
The Giants.
They're playing the
Jesus.
Giants. Gotta about to run all
If
over.
they lose,
Let's go.
if the Chiefs lose, they gotta I don't know, they gotta bring in Taylor Swift into the huddle. Maybe she's gotta draw up a game plan
Oh
here.
They've
no!
gotta
Oh,
do something.
they're gonna get Trent Green a contract again.
I miss Trent Green,
No.
the best Kansas City quarterback.
Oh,
Not really,
that
but you
was
know.
terrible.
Well, fellas, that's going to be everything for tonight. I appreciate everyone coming in. I appreciate you, Alex, for joining us.
Of course.
Just to give everyone a little bit of a heads up, Alex is currently going through medical school, studying to be a doctor. So he'll be in here periodically when he can
Nice.
make it. So in the future, this will be our group, and you will be seeing us, and you'll be seeing us next week, Sunday at 7. Y'all have a good night.